What's up, traders? It's your boy Vincent, aka Vin Boss, and we are updating from the signals of yesterday to what is actually transpiring in the markets right now. So, without wasting further time, let me quickly remind you that everything that we are doing from Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and today it is Wednesday, it is solely based on the printing of NFP on this euro and the dollar currency pair that we are already structured to the upside. The market is just stalling with this kind of price action, and as you remember yesterday we did have a buy signal from these levels, and we were expecting a bullish momentum continuation, but we did not rule out the fact that this might come out and give us a break even. And you can see it is symbolized by this circle right here, this circle here, the small circle. I don't know if you can see it, but it is symbolized by this, that here we had a trade but it was break even. So after that the market came down and gave us another buying opportunities, but we didn't get this one because it was too early. I was not up yet at that moment. And then the second wave I was already up. This was the buying momentum to the upside. This signal was shared with the VIP traders, and traders, for you to get this VIP signals, it was only uh $25 previously. Now it has increased, but not significantly. It is $30. So with that being said, beautiful traders, what this means for you, it means that if you missed this, already we are in break even again. But if you did miss this, what we are expecting is a small pullback, and then looking for buying opportunities to continue to the upside with this market condition. So without wasting further time, let's quickly check back what I was referring to with last week's signal, what we perceived as the support area, so that we can continue to the upside. And we managed to get a trade here. We are already, of course, in break even, and anything else that comes from now on, I would like to see this come down. If it does come down and hits our break even, we would still be looking for buying opportunities, impulsive candles to the upside, to make sure that the market is still in accordance. So that is it with the euro and the dollar. So with that being said, I still expect to see a bullish, a bearish wave here, to look for buying opportunities. So if you're not in with us from these levels, look for buying opportunities so that we can continue to the upside together. Everything else will be left in the video description if you want to join the free Telegram channel. Thank you for watching this. Let's go over to the pound and the dollar. So traders, with the pound and the dollar, very simply put, what we do have right now is a break even again. We did have a buy signal from this level to the upside, expecting to see a little bit of pullback, a bounce like this one, but a bounce that is more holding than this one, that could break this high and potentially break this high to make another daily high. But instead, the pullback went too deep, took out our break even, and just like the euro and the dollar, the pound has potentially given us a two-wave system, and we are already in break even. So if anything else, we should just check the potentiality of what might unfold as we go deeper into this. Being said, this is still a bullish momentum, but if we do have this, looks like we might be testing here or here before we can continue to the upside. But if we do come down straight and take our break even, we will still be bullish up until these levels. And if we do, the only time we will be this level right here gets invalidated. This is the only time where I would see that from the day of the NFP, the money that was positioned for this buy has now been taken out this week. So this simply means we might be continuing to the downside. Now, with all that said, this simply means that we potentially have not yet uh, got to the fact where everything else has been bullish, because bearish, because everything else is still within this non-farm payrolls back to the upside liquidity. So most important thing that we have to pay close attention to right now is the momentum to the upside. And despite that, this euro and Despite that, this euro, this pound, and the dollar still gave us this impulsive. But what to expect now? We want to see more higher highs, but if anything else, because we still have the FOMC minutes coming out today, if they print any, if they talk about cutting rates in the future, this might potentially give us a strong momentum to the upside and initial jobless claims following on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So with that being said, we are putting our eyes on the data that might come out. But if it doesn't happen the way we want it to happen, potentially this might also go to the downside. Let's just before anything else, let's analyze the overall direction of this pound and the dollar. So if our break even gets hit again, this potentially could be a great place to look for buying opportunities tomorrow. But overall, this is a place where I potentially would consider the buying opportunities out of this. I know this is the daily resistance, but I believe that we are going to break above resistance according only to the data, not according to only to the you know technical analysis only, because we all know that if your technical analysis aligns with your fundamental analysis, then everything else is fantastic. So with that being said, traders, I still do want to see buying opportunities coming up during this London session or during the New York session. But later on with the New York session, we do have the FOMC minutes. We would see what the committee says about uh you know possibility of staying the same or of cutting rates. But if it cuts rates, this would um go along with the slowdown of jobs. And remember here, the unemployment actually decreased, but the private sector, the jobs slowed down. So this was a bit confusing. That's why we didn't have a full on straight path to the upside. Most important thing to watch from now on these days is that FOMC minute stance and perhaps the CPI going into next week. So, traders, with that being said, I would like for us to go and check the gold before we check last, which is the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So, traders, with gold, this is the non-farm payroll strength. It is still not invalidated yet. And if you check everything else from the non-farm payroll, it looks like it does do have a two wave, one two, this is two, this is three wave, this is a 1 2 3 wave system. And right now we are having a pullback to the desired level, which was of course uh put on yesterday's video. If you missed yesterday's video, please make sure that you go back, you watch, and exactly understand what happened. So yesterday we did have a great buy here, but we ended up getting this uh break even, and anything else from there I was expecting buying opportunities from here, but we didn't, especially. But this also right here looks like it is a great place to look for buying opportunities to the upside, as it has already tested our uh, place of buying or the liquidity zone. So traders, with that being said, let's go and check what this has in store for us, or what happened yesterday when I'm talking about the place of interest, and gave us a break even. So with the break even in play, what does this mean? Does this mean we are now looking for the selling opportunities? No, we are not. It simply means that potentially this might be the case that we draw a bit deeper and then look for buying opportunities with impulsive candles to the upside, and then a continuation will most likely be a high probability chance. The only time that I personally would be looking for. Now, with that being said, traders, this simply means that everything happened as we did expect it. It did come down to this level, and then after this level, everything flown back up. Now we are at the age, or at the stage where everything else might just continue to the upside without any contradiction. So last but not least, let's go and check US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So traders, with the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, this was a perfect system that we did use. Remember, we did mention that every single time the market reached the NFP's high, it tried to invalidate the high. Nothing else worked in its favor, because as soon as it reached impulsive candles to the downside, it reached again, tried to make a new high, impulsive candle to the downside, and as soon as we got this is where we entered yesterday. But we did have a break even, because the market ended up giving us a break even. So after all of that, the break even of this, we soon had a bearish engulfing candle right here, and that was the signal for us to come in again, because I did mention that it might come out and give us a break even and then look for selling opportunities, because this is an important level, which is 1.4224. Now after that, the market just went, and it is still now continuing to the downside as intended. So with the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, everything else that was in place before this happened, it is still in place, and we do have FOMC minutes. We do hope that it comes out bearish. Initial jobless claims might come out worse than expected. So everything else, and the Canadian unemployment rate might just drop, so that this can also potentially play a role into making this a stronger sell. So before anything else, let's go and check what I was expecting from yesterday. It is the only one that has it's closer to my break even, and if it does break below again like this and then come down, this would be a great place to go to the downside. But if you're not already in with us from here, then what does this simply mean? This simply means that if you see a break, then you wait for the pullback, look for selling opportunities, and then go to the downside. Now let's analyze why did I sell this US dollar and the Canadian dollar. On Thursday, with the non-farm payroll, it came out. This was the high of that non-farm payroll, and it also did a spike. We had a couple of losses 3 times on the day of NFP, and then we let it go. On Friday, we did not trade because of the holiday. We knew that the volatility will be very low, and after that, I didn't expect to see this make a high of NFP's day. But as soon as we hit the high all the time, because in euro dollar we did not hit the low of NFP, in pound dollar we did not hit the low of NFP, and even in gold we are still not at the low of NFP, but in here we did make the high. So this serves as another great opportunity to look for selling opportunities, because as soon as we hit this, we started selling off. We hit this, we started selling off, and then we hit this and started selling off again, and we took this as an opportunity after this impulsive candle to the downside, that we are going to look for selling opportunities again. And so far we are still in a trade, but if anything happens, if the market comes up to this, retest it here, the entry, which will then turn into break even. But if it does come to this level again, we will be looking for selling opportunities. As of now, it looks like it might. Now this is exactly what happened. Let's go and find out what happened in the market right now. Now, as soon as this happened, we sold off. But if you didn't remember, I then told you that if this happens, you might wait for a pullback, look for selling opportunities, and then continue to the downside, which is exactly what has happened, because all of this is purely based on data and then technicals afterwards. This makes trading less emotional. When you know where the market is going to go, you can see market randomness and you can see fake outs. So with that being said, beautiful traders, that is it from me, Boss. Let me see you in the comments. Let me see you in the channel. Talk to me. Let me help you trade or just let me give you the forecast like I am right now. Remember, what you get when you register with the VIP is not only the London session uh, analysis. You get the London session analysis, the New York analysis, and the close of the day analysis. So you get three analysis twice a day, but signals, they are all universal time. Within 24 hours you can get signals from 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 10 p.m. Any time of the day you can get trading signals. So with that being said, beautiful traders, thanks and happy trading.